everybody, today's video is how to outline your animal on your tile and how to apply some depth in clay on your tile. First thing you need is your printout, your 5x5 printout. This animal was a little short, so we have a short tile. So that's okay. And the little claws are hanging over the side, so I'm going to even show you how to kind of work those in. You want to place your paper printout of your animal square right on your tile, and then stipple an outline. I am not stippling the eyes, nose, mouth, individual claws, anything like that. I'm just creating the silhouette outline of this turtle by piercing the paper. It's almost like I'm sewing into the clay. It's actually kind of fun. And if it goes off the page a little bit, I'm letting it. Now it's a little blurry, so I'm just going to determine where the end of that shell is. I'm just going to kind of make it up. If your paper comes up from the surface, this is why it's so important that we rip it so close to the animal. It's a little easier to place back in the right place. And I said I wasn't outlining the claws, but I actually am, because that's part of the silhouette in this tile. In doing this, you might rip your paper. Your paper might not be nice enough to keep, but that's why we have our phones to reference. So after you do that outline, keep your paper to reference, but if it gets destroyed tomorrow, then tomorrow you can take out your phone and just take a screenshot of that front view of your animal, and then you can expand it or make it smaller. The pins as they are, you can't expand it, so it's really hard to see the detail. I, for one, I just can't see it. I can't see the depth on that little tiny screen. So if you take a screenshot, then it helps you really see the depth. So the next thing you're going to do, after you have the outline, and this is for everybody, for the people that were here yesterday, we're ready to move on to today's lesson, which is building up the surface of your clay tile. What we're doing is we're creating a relief tile. So the relief tile is a three-dimensional, and here's a beautiful flower. Of course, doesn't really fit with our theme of animals, but it's good for the purpose of this. If I look at the side, everything's a different height. Matter of fact, here's some that are a little more fitting. Here's a snail. Here's the side view. I'm going to show you. I know. Do you guys know? Can you figure out now why we need a side view of our animal? It helps us with our depth. Okay. So there's a snail. This is just beautifully done. Look at that. It's like a fox. It looks kind of funny on the computer screen because it's foreshortening, but beautiful, right? Look at the ears. They're all beautifully sculpted. The eyes. Guess what? Yours are going to be just as good. They're going to be just as good. They're all this good. You know what it's called? Learning. You're going to, seriously, you're going to learn, that's what you're going to learn how to do. So, and you know, on the last assignment, we did practicing. Well, we're going to practice right on our tile, and we're going to just keep practicing, and that's going to end up being our final project. You know why? Clay is so forgiving. Oh, that didn't look good. I'm going to rip it off and just do that eyeball over again, for instance. Okay? One thing I love about clay is it's just forgiving, you know? The key is don't let it dry out. At the end of class today, we're going to cover all our tiles with a damp paper towel, not dripping because then we'll come back to a mushy mess, or a tile that's broken in half. Yeah, so I'm going to move on. Next thing we're all going to do is we're going to start adding clay onto our tile. But what we need to do before that is take that stipple outline, and starting at our stipple outline and including our stipple outline, create lines with our needle tool. About a 1/16 of an inch. I'm not cutting deep. Do you mind this? So we're all doing this together, and the nice thing is, if you're doing this during a study hall, you probably don't even have to pause the video. You can go right along with me. This is going to be a somewhat longer video. Did you do it? You can do it right along with me. Do you have a tile?
Yeah.
Do it right along with me. Like, you can, like, do you have it outlined anymore? Do you have a printout?
No, but I don't know.
You need to print it out. If you do not have anything to trace, you need to just jump on a computer and do that now. And then watch this, like, during study hall. Or, I'll be here 12 o'clock because of the long lunch. We don't eat in here. We don't eat in the art rooms. But go eat lunch and then come back at 12, and it's a good catch-up time. Okay. And then when you're done with your horizontal lines, go ahead and create some vertical lines. That's okay. If you already did it, that's okay.
No, mine just looks reckless. I wasn't following it.
That's okay, because we're going to cover this up.
Okay.
As long as you don't go deep into your tile, because then your tile can crack. So it's very important that you kind of do...
Okay, I don't think that's too deep.
Okay. Because we're just covering it up. I just want to make sure that people are scratching enough. Do you know what happens in our survey? The clay pops right off your tile that we add on because people don't scratch enough. So that's why I'm going pretty... I'm being pretty picky about the scratched surface. So, the surface of your tile should look like burlap. Okay? Next thing you can do, this is the fun part, is you're going to look at your picture, in this case, a turtle, and you are going to determine the height that the clay should be on your tile. I'm going to use the tile that's already done as an example. Here's this beautiful fox. The nose sticks out the furthest. Okay? So this is a step 1. On the turtle, the nose sticks out the furthest also, so that's a step 1. So what I'm going to do is I could just take the needle tool, make a little line in, 1, or I can go like this and put a 1. Or I can write on my newspaper, 1, whatever you want to do. And then this is a step 2, and I'm going around the shell, and I'm just determining the height. Now, if the nose is a step 1, and say the neck is also a step 2, the legs are like a step 3, numbers don't matter, like, as far as there's flux there. What's important is you know that, like in this instance, the nose is in front of the foot. It just helps you kind of see through all the steps. Then, when you apply the clay, you really take this clay, and you know what, some of us played with it, so let's go ahead and scratch the clay. Scratch the clay. And then, if your clay tile is slightly wetter than the clay that you're applying, you don't need to use slip. We will be using slip for our smaller details and stuff, but you don't need to today. And then you got to get that depth, and then we're just going to, once we have the depth, I'm not doing this carefully. I'm just pushing the clay. Think of Velcro. I'm just pushing it on there. I'm not worried about neat outside edges. I'm worried about height. That's all I'm really worried about. Ooh, and I see like this turtle's turned in space, so I feel like this is further back than this. For some reason I'm feeling that way. So that's what I'm going to put on here. And the little feet come out here. And I'm not carving individual toenails now. I'm not putting fur on my socks. I'm not doing any of that. You know, I'm just getting the mass of clay on. Go get a damn paper towel, squeeze out all the moisture and lay it on and give it to me. And so how much do I get done today, Miss West? As much as you get done. Tomorrow might be a snow day, or tomorrow might actually be the day. Let me just look at the schedule that nobody's here.
Yeah, we're not going to be here.
Oh, tomorrow we're going to hang artwork, okay? Or if we'll probably finish hanging artwork early. Then we'll play a game. We'll play an art game, like either Pictionary or something like that. We're not going to leave you guys in the dust. At the end of class today, which class ends at 10:45, you are going to do this. You're going to grab a damp paper towel from the back table, drape it over your clay tile like this. Look at how much detail I have, folks. Check out the screen real quick. It's a lumpy, bumpy mess. I just started. That's all you did is get it started. Damp paper towel right on top of the whole thing, and then put it back in your Ziploc bag. If your bag is not zipped, or if there's clay stuck to the zipper, you're going to have to clean it off and then dry it with a dry paper towel and then re-zip it. Make sure, or if your bag is ripped, please, okay, this is where I get my ball out. If anybody pokes a hole in anyone's bag, you're in I see that as you're destroying someone's artwork, and I handle it like defacing of school property. Like, you might as well just take a Sharpie and write on the bathroom walls. Okay? So, yeah, punishable offense. So, I know that's not this class because you all are amazing, but if I find out that happened to someone, yeah, everyone thinks I'm nice. So please treat each other's projects with respect. It's on the syllabus. It's one of the rules. That's it. And sorry to end the video that way, but all right. So that's it. All right. So have fun, and we'll return to these on Friday. Okay.